This is Mac OS Ken.
Big news for Apple Watch. Apple does not have to do the age tracking thing in Texas for now. And Tim Cook puts Nike stock in his stocking. It is Monday, the 29th of December, 2025. I'm Ken Ray, and this is news from Mac OS Ken. Brought to you by yours truly and sponsored by Copilot Money, making your money feel clear, calm, and fully yours. Get a 2-month free trial with offer code MacOSKen at try.copilot.money/MacOSKen. This show is also supported by people like you, patrons through Patreon. Find out more and add your support at patreon.com/MacOSKen. Big news for Apple Watch in a sporadic holiday period. First, Apple's timepieces will continue to flow into the U.S. A little under a week ago, Seeking Alpha ran a piece that a federal judge denying a request by medical tech company Masimo to block the watch's import. No doubt you remember, 2023 saw Apple accused of violating Masimo patents tied to blood oxygen sensors in Apple Watch. Imports of the wearable were blocked for a short period until Apple turned the blood oxygen sensing off on any incoming units. Earlier this year, Seeking Alpha says Apple introduced a redesigned blood oxygen feature for some Apple Watch Series 9, Series 10, and Apple Watch Ultra 2 users through an iPhone and Apple Watch software update. Apple said that got around Masimo's patents. Masimo disagreed and sued to once again block the import into the U.S. of Apple Watches with blood oxygen sensing turned on. That request was denied early last week, according to the report. The end? Not a chance. Though the piece doesn't say so, an appeal by Masimo is practically a given. Additionally, Seeking Alpha does say that the U.S. International Trade Commission recently launched a new investigation into the seemingly interminable dispute. The other big news for Apple Watch is just how big Apple Watch was in the third quarter of this year. Counterpoint Research posted research last week that showed shipments for Apple's chronometer growing 23% in the September quarter versus the same quarter a year earlier. That ended 7 straight quarters of decline, according to the firm. 12% annual growth in shipments for first-place Apple Watch, plus stunning annual wearables growth of 42% for second-place Huawei, should see global smartwatch shipments up 7% in 2025 versus 2024, according to Counterpoint's count. Texas judge says Apple doesn't have to check App Store ages, reads the headline from Apple Insider. That sounds a bit more definitive than it is, though, by that article's own account. According to that, on the 1st of January 2026, Apple was expecting to have to start verifying the age of all App Store users in Texas after a new state law comes into force. Just days before the deadline, a judge has decided to place a hold on its implementation. I'm pretty sure we've talked about laws like this one here before, and I know we talked about it on the checklist when that was a thing. Called the Texas App Store Accountability Act, the law will, or would, make Apple and Google responsible for verifying the ages of users rather than developers being responsible. The Apple Insider piece says the law is intended to prevent younger users from seeing inappropriate content. While the judge in the case may see the importance of ongoing efforts to better safeguard children when they are on their devices, he also thinks the way Texas is trying to go about it is more likely than not unconstitutional. So that'll be a no for now. A piece from 9 to 5 Mac quotes the judge's ruling as saying, the act is akin to a law that would require every bookstore to verify the age of every customer at the door and, for minors, require parental consent before the child or teen could enter and again when they try to purchase a book. the court finds a likelihood that, when considered on the merits, the law in question violates the First Amendment. That no from the judge means a never mind from Apple, at least for the time being. Last Tuesday, Apple let developers know that it would pause previously announced implementation plans and monitor the ongoing legal process. More news in a moment, but first a word from today's sponsor, Copilot Money, designed to make your money feel clear, calm, and fully yours. I heard from my friend Ryan over the Christmas holiday. You know Ryan. He's the one that says,
This is Mac OS Ken.
Yeah, he was messaging to tell me how much he loves Copilot Money. Like a lot of people, when Mint announced it was going away, Ryan freaked out. That's when he found Copilot Money, and he's been happy ever since. He says Copilot Money keeps track of his finances the way Mint did, doing its thing without a lot of attention from him. When something needs his attention, though, the push alerts keep him alert, better than emails that are easily missed. He likes that it syncs across all of his devices, too. That is especially true with Copilot Money's new web interface. Find out what Ryan and so many others love. Get a fresh start and make your money work for you in the new year at try.copilot.money/macOSKen. For a limited time, new users get 26% off your first year after a 2-month free trial with offer code macOSKen. Featured by Apple as an app we love and a must-have finance app, you can try it out with a 2-month free trial with offer code macOSKen. Then, new users get 26% off your first year when you sign up at try.copilot.money/macOSKen. Your money, beautifully organized, now across every device at try.copilot.money/macOSKen. There's a pretty big change coming for iPhone users in the EU. Engadget says users across the European Union will get more integrated interactions between Apple hardware and third-party accessories under iOS 26.3. A part of Apple's expanding compliance with the EU's Digital Markets Act, accessories made by companies besides Apple could start behaving like accessories straight out of Cupertino. Examples listed in the piece include proximity pairing, which will give earbuds and headphones made by the likes of Sony and Bose the ability to pair with an iPhone or iPad the way AirPods and Beats do, initiating a simple one-tap pairing process when they get close to Apple's smartphone or tablet. Additionally, notifications will let accessories like smartwatches that aren't Apple Watches receive notifications from iPhone. Users will be able to view and react to incoming notifications, functionality that's been reserved for Apple Watch up to this point. Pleased as punch with the news is the European Union. Engadget quotes an EU spokesperson as saying, "The Digital Markets Act creates new opportunities for developers to bring to market innovative products and services in Europe. This is another step towards a more interconnected digital ecosystem to the benefit of all EU citizens." And finally today, Apple CEO Tim Cook bought himself some Nike stock for Christmas, a gift that also benefited Nike. 9to5Mac tells the tale, which had Cook picking up 50,000 Nike shares on the open market last Monday. At just under $59 per share, the $3 million spent by Cook isn't really as important as what it represents. A vote of confidence for Nike CEO Elliott Hill and the company's Win Now strategy. While Cook's been known to sport Nike's sporty kicks, he's nothing like an outsider with the company. Cook has served on Nike's board since 2005, according to 9to5Mac. His position stepped up roughly 10 years ago when he assumed the role of lead independent director after co-founder Phil Knight retired as chairman. Cook's vote of confidence did have a positive effect. Nike shares rose about 5% after news of his purchase surfaced. Sorry for bugging out unannounced last week. I'd meant to record a happy holidays message, but as you can probably hear, I spent Christmas under the weather. I hope you and yours had a pleasant week last week. As for this week, got at least a couple more shows on the way. Not sure what they'll consist of, nor how I'll sound. Keep the feed open to find out. macOS Ken, brought to you by me, and sponsored by Copilot Money. Get a 2-month free trial with offer code MacOSKen at try.copilot.money/MacOSKen. This show is also supported by people like you, patrons through Patreon. Find out more and add your support at patreon.com/MacOSKen. Advertising handled by Backbeat Media, online at backbeatmedia.com. You can find me on Mastodon, macosken at mastodon.social. You can also send me an email, info@macosken.com. Until next time, that is news from macOS Ken. I'm Ken Ray.
Ciao.